Really? Come on!
You lose.
Having trouble playing some fighting games? Well, here you go. This is a real controller.
What?
You win.
So today we're going to talk about one of the best controllers I have ever used in fighting games. And for some people, they love using them on platformers. Now, this controller I got off Etsy at a very, I guess you could say, limited sale. It's called the vsFighter. Now, it is from a guy, Leafcutter Labs. He does actually have a website, and we'll get into that later. This is one of the best controllers I've ever used, and the reason why it reminds me of using my keyboard back like ages ago, my old Tandy computer. Like, this is when Street Fighter first came out. And people still use keyboards today to play fighting games. I normally do use a PlayStation controller, but you get so much better feedback from an actual keyboard. And that's what this kind of controller provides. This is called a Mixbox, if it's a standard term. It's really an all-button controller, but it's the Mixbox variety, I guess you could say. And this color it's just black. I mean, there's no other colors. But the really cool thing about this controller, it comes with a removable plate, acrylic plate, that you can add your own artwork to right over the controller. Granted, that didn't work there because there's obviously keycaps on there. Now, the other really cool thing about this controller is it has hot swappable MX switches. So that means you can put anything from Kali, well, not this Kali, these are Gateron browns, or I'm not even sure, I think these are just generic blues. Whatever you need, whether you want tactile or clicky, or what comes with it are Kali blacks, which are completely linear. It's whatever your preference is, which is awesome. You can change them out, or you can just mix and match. It's absolutely an awesome thing to add to this thing. Another great thing about this controller is that it's a completely custom-made controller, custom PCB for a small form factor, which is absolutely great for holding in your lap for when you're playing fighting games. And it's not too small, because I've seen some other ones on Etsy that are super small. Now, this particular one comes with Demon Byte arcade encoder software, which is supposedly lag-free. It only works on PC. So far, that's all I've been using on this, and it works out great. I've had to use x86 to actually reprogram it to work with some Steam games, like Guilty Gear Strive and Tekken, but some games it works perfectly fine right out of the box on Steam. The other great thing is you can use QMK firmware on this board as well, which is I guess you could say, custom open source firmware that a group of people have created for people to be reprogramming mechanical keyboards. And you can actually use it on this, which is really, really cool. So you can just make this whatever you want. So the other thing is, if you want to use this controller on PS4, PS5, Xbox, Xbox Series X, you may have to get the Brooks USB dongle arcade controller encoder little stick thing. I'm not sure the exact terminology for it. You can get it on Amazon. I think it's around 40 bucks. It's not too bad. I haven't tried it yet. I am going to order it in the future and try it with this controller to see if it works. But we'll see. I've heard it works with the generic lag-free boards, so it's possible it could work. Other than that, this controller is absolutely one of the best. And like I said, he has a website where you can buy, there's a variant for PS4 that he made that's a hitbox style. And he also just put up on his website another variant of the vsFighter that is a hitbox style for a PC. He also makes other little custom knobs and stuff for your PC, which is kind of cool. And he has a absolutely great GitHub. On the GitHub, you can find the complete pinout to the PCB. You can download the firmware, you can change the firmware. You also get the template to print out your own artwork, and it's really easy. You can go ahead into Photoshop, load up the template, put your own artwork on there, and then here you print it out with, I used an inkjet printer with photo paper, and it worked out great. Now granted, that wasn't my first attempt. I actually used regular paper first, and I also used clear acrylic paper, which was a little different. It didn't come out that great, and the ink didn't really stay that well, but that was my mistake. But high quality photo paper seemed to work absolutely amazing for the artwork I created for the character I play in Under Night Inverse, which is Seth. And you can just customize it any way you want. I'm also planning on making another layout for my character I play in Guilty Gear Strive, which is Chip Sander. This Leafcutter Labs, he's kind of, I guess you could say, just tech enthusiast kind of person. He builds a lot of things himself. He's a very DIY guy, I guess you could say. He has an Instagram, which I'm gonna leave a link below. I'm not sure if his Etsy shop is still up. I believe it's still up. That's where he did his test run to see how well these controllers would sell. And obviously they did well. They sold out pretty fast. So, and now he has an official website with a bunch of stuff on it. So definitely go check it out. This is one of the best controllers. And granted, this one runs about, I think right now it's $90 actually on his website. Now, that doesn't mean it's gonna come tomorrow or next week or in a month. And everybody knows about the chip shortage that's happening. So there could be a little bit of delay. And he's also making them himself by hand. So give the guy some time. But granted, when you get it, you are going to be very, very happy. The other one that's big right now is the Stackbox Hitbox controller, which is close to the same form factor. It's a little bigger. There's also another one, I think it's a little smaller. I can't remember the name right now. But there's a few variations of these style controllers coming around. So the other thing I'm sure you're all going to ask is this controller tournament legal? And I'm sure a lot of you already know, yes, it is. And the reason why is because of the actual hardware inside it. And the big reason is the SOCD cleaner that's actually on the firmware itself. Now, granted, if you go ahead and customize this firmware and change it, that's a whole other discussion. But the SOCD cleaner, obviously, the really big thing that it does is, so if you go ahead and hit left, then hit right, it goes to neutral. If you hit down and then up, you get up. You cannot hit both directions at the same time because obviously that would give you a distinct advantage in a fighting game if you were able to do that, which is why I think it was Daigo's controller that was banned at Combo Breaker I think it was last year, the year before. And this was the reason why, because he had literally 4 directional buttons, 2 more directional buttons here. And the reason why that happened, because the firmware couldn't go ahead and compensate for these ones and then these 2 with the directional buttons and then discerning whether one's holding up, left, right, yeah, so. But the other thing though, a lot of people don't realize that is actually tournament illegal, but a lot of people don't know that PlayStation 4 controllers, if you use the analog stick along with the directional pad, you can hold left and right at the same time, up and down at the same time, which is tournament illegal, but they clearly allow those controllers into the tournament. Now, whether that's a controversial subject, that'll be for another video. I personally think it's something that should be actually handled, but that's me. The other thing you're gonna be wanting to do with this controller, playing platformers. Now, this has become kind of a thing that's been happening. Granted, people have been playing platformers on their keyboards for years, but this makes it a whole lot better. And the reason why, how many times you're actually going to hit up playing Mario? None. The reason why, because you have a jump button, which can be handled right over here. So this has become a great form factor, and you ever see any speedrunners at like Games Done Quick or something like that, you'll see they're holding the NES pad flat with all their fingers on top of it. They feel that they're faster, smoother, and can make movements a lot more precise that way. And yeah, it's true. You can with this kind of controller. After I started checking out and playing some platformers with this controller, because I heard about people doing it, and I knew people played platformers with keyboards. And I've done it myself, I never really enjoyed it. But once I actually played it a few times and actually started getting like used to the actual, I'm like, wow, you can be super precise. So I would definitely check out playing some platformers, some emulators. There's tons of great platformers on Steam, go check them out. And obviously a lot of these controllers can be used with your Switch as well, which there's absolutely a ton of great platformers coming out on the Switch. And you're gonna need that USB dongle obviously with this controller to play it on the Switch. So definitely go check it out. This is the vsFighter made by Leafcutter Labs. One of the best fighting sticks I have ever used. I'll hopefully be reviewing his hitbox version of this in the future because I'm probably going to order it. That's also one of my favorite style controllers, but I am beyond impressed with the quality of this controller. It's definitely worth the money. And it's only, like I said, it's only 90 bucks right now. Go check it out. Go order one. You will not regret it. And go check out his Instagram because he always does some absolutely crazy builds of things over there. So thank you for watching. This has been Tech Prime Media for one of the best fight sticks you will ever see. See you on the next video. Thanks for watching.